Good day, everyone. This is Mike Mendel, F. Espiritu. I am 21 years old and I'm taking up Bachelor of Science in Hotel and Restaurant Management at De La Salle University, Dasmariñas. So, as a future hotelier, as an aspirant hotelier, we are living in a world where a pandemic is currently happening. And the hospitality and the tourism industry has been affected by this COVID 19, and this is something that we should actually talk about and how we could help this type of industry in bouncing back to its original state. So, first of all, let's talk about the virus. The virus is called COVID 19. COVID 19, meaning Chinese virus 2019. So, it originated from Wuhan, China, due to the misleading and misuse of the experimental biological virus. And this has been firstly affected in a seafood wet market in Wuhan, and from that, it all spread around the world. So, COVID 19 is currently killing millions of people, and not just it's not just people that are affected by this virus, but also the businesses, the companies, and the organization all around the world has been affected by this COVID. So these businesses will also lead to the downfall of our economy. So yeah, this is the results of the pandemic. So what were the conditions during the pandemic? So there are a lot of regularization given by the government to people, but also to the companies. So first of all, let's talk about the conditions given to the people. So for the people, the government enforced us to wear protective equipments such as face shields, face masks, protective equipments, PPEs, and the such. While for the companies, they are forced to keep, they were told to give social distancing and to limit their contact with people. And this was a really hard law given to them, for this type of industry really requires the face-to-face interaction. And to provide the excellent service and products, you really need to provide them with an personal interaction. So this type of industry were the ones that has been impacted so hard. And also going back to the people, um, like what I said before, people should limit their contact with others, because this virus is rap easily can get can easily be spread to others just by the droplets and the such, just by coughing. And sometimes you can be asymptomatic, but you could have the virus. So it was a really scary virus for all and everyone. So these were the conditions given to them, and to wear like that, wear face mask, and the like. So let's talk about the hospitality and tourism industry. What are these, and why are they affected so much during this pandemic? So the hospitality industry, so let's first give an example of what these are. The hospitality industry include accommodations such as hotels and food services such as restaurant, cafes, even spa, gyms. So these are some branches that are from the hospitality industry. It's mostly about providing hospitality services towards other, providing exceptional service towards them. Next is the tourism industry. Tourism industry is any business that is related to travel and tourism, that is greatly related to the economy and tourism of our country. So this includes again the hotels, the restaurants, the travel agency most likely, and the airlines. We should not forget about the airlines. This is also an example of hospitality industry, and the airline has been also affected with this virus. Imagine this virus made the airlines, the airplanes, to stop their flights everywhere. That's how deadly the virus is. So yeah, again, the airline industry is also affected with this virus. So how are they affected? They are affected because they were forced to the government forced them to temporarily close their services and products because again this virus spreads really easily, and that people are told to limit their contact with others because our our country, the Philippines, is not a really in it they we are not in a really good condition wherein we can accommodate a lot of people who are affected by this virus. So the government are forced to limit the possibility of increasing the number of people infected with COVID-19. So all businesses are forced to temporarily close them, especially those that needs interaction. And so these businesses, some businesses actually were forced to file for bankruptcy because after this pandemic they weren't able to earn anything, they weren't able to pay their bills because all the workflow has stopped. So that is one of the worst case scenario of this virus to the businesses during this pandemic. So how can we go back? So this is a very complicated question, but I think what's more important is how we should deal with these problems. How should we bounce back to these problems? How can what are the tips that the hotel, not just the hospitality and tourism industry, but to every businesses and industries out there? What are the tips that we could provide them after this pandemic so that they could, because every businesses all around the world weren't prepared for this. So now is the time for people to be prepared for the most unexpected causes. So let's list several examples. So one is learn from your history. So every businesses knows what has what this virus gave to the people and to the businesses. So as a business owner, you should know what that we should be prepared next time. What what should we expect from the businesses? How could we uh, how could we learn from history? How could we um, you know find a way whenever that this occur again? Um, how could we learn from how could we be prepared and and to solve what could happen that could which could happen again. So we should find a way for us to you know struggle and panic when this pandemic arrives again. Hopefully not though. So we should be prepared and learn from our history. And next is, do not panic. Never panic, because in every situation you should never panic, because this leads to unexpected and most undesirable actions or resolve of way. So we should never panic, and we should stay calm, not just to the people but also to the business owners. So we should always be calm and solve our problems quietly, and uh, yes. Next is, offer packages and huge offers. So during this pandemic, we should offer um, some packages that doesn't include the interaction with other people, but also um, we should offer them an opportunity for them to let's say in the hotel, like give them a accommodation, but also give them food, um, give them the chance to go to your bar for free. So these are some ways that could invite people even during the pandemic, and make sure that the hotel or the business that you have is following the rules and regulation of uh, limiting the people and not letting the virus spread so rapidly. All right. And this is to let people know that we, like, for example, in, let's say I have a hotel, I'm a business owner, I am the manager. So we have to make sure and encourage the guests that our hotel follows everything that limits the contact with people and to limit the spread of the virus. So if they are sure about the progress that we're making, then they would be willing to go to the hotel, to my hotel, even during this pandemic. As long as they know they're fully safe, then that's good. Next is, consider another marketing strategy. So let's say, for example, you have a hotel. Let's say I have a hotel. So in your hotel, you don't have this. You have a small hotel, and you don't have this restaurant, spa, gym. All you have is a accommodation, which were definitely um, stopped by the government. So as a business owner, you should consider that, like, let's say for example another pandemic occurs, which won't happen. So your company, people would go there not just because of your accommodation, but also you offer restaurants, you offer food, and you offer entertainment and wellness. Then those are some ways that would invite people to come over to your hotel, not just your accommodation. And with that, you should make that is when you make a better opportunity of packages that would invite more guests coming in the hotel. Next is, be strong. Okay, during this pandemic, we should stay strong. We should pray. We should pray to God always, and we know that this virus will come to an end. And we should just stay strong. And as a business owner, don't let your don't let the doubts, don't let this pandemic ruin you, even your business. Look on the bright side. Look for opportunities to make your business grow during this pandemic, you know? So that is one important thing to do as a business owner. Be resourceful, um, you know, yeah. And finally, be prepared. Be prepared, especially for the business owners. who knows, this pandemic might happen again. Hopefully not again. So we should come prepared next time. And this pandemic is like a lesson learned, not just for people, but also to the business owners all around the world, even to the countries. So we should be prepared next time, not just during this pandemic, but everywhere we go, every time, especially as a graduating student, I should come prepared, and that the outside world is uh, changing, ever changing, and we should always come prepared. Like, if you come to a war, you need to have your sword. Don't come unprepared. So those are all. Thank you so much for listening. Again, this is Mike Espiritu, and I hope you learned a lot from this webinar. Thank you so much, and God bless us all. Thank you.